So we had a question on our channel about our whole tow hitch setup. Somebody asking about, does it rattle or any problems or issues with it and that kind of stuff. So here we go. We're just wrapping up a 6-day tour through the California desert. And there's been some pros and cons. Let's go through them all here really quick. So first off, the one big con, it's been fantastic. The one con, the one issue we've had with it, the retaining pin here, once it gets some dust on it, it doesn't really like going in and out smoothly. So that's a bit of an issue. This is the retaining pin to keep the swing arm in place. And so, some sort of real mechanical latch that'd be easy to do, that wouldn't need a bunch of grease on a pin and stuff that gets all dusty, would be lovely. That is our one complaint here. This thing is made by Wilco Offroad, as you can see there. We can go ahead and slide it out now. You can see the retaining pin goes through this urethane bushings and through these metal parts here, so that keeps it from rattling at all. So that's wonderful. There's no rattling involved at all. And then over on this side, so there are various models of Wilco Offroad. I think it's called the Hitchgate Solo. This one has the 4-inch riser. The standard one essentially would come straight out like this, which would bring the tire and everything down lower. We'd be grounding that out when we're trying to go through interesting ups and downs in the off-road trails and that kind of stuff. Also inside here, essentially you take a long extension and a 3/4 inch wrench and you go way in here. And so back inside the throat of the trailer hitch is a wedge lock, basically a couple pieces of metal and a bolt that goes into it, and it spreads those triangular wedges apart and locks it in place. That again keeps anything from rattling. And then the safety pin is still here, right? You always want to still use a safety pin, but the safety pin is not what's holding it. So nothing rattles around. Everything is nice and solid, which is fantastic. Then we have just a recovery hitch here for giggles and our little shark. I just put this on before this trip, and oh my goodness, we went through a lot of mud, and he needs some love. He's been pretty beat up. Okay, so attached on back over here, so there's these kind of wings here is an extra kind of add-on from Wilco Offroad, and this allows you to then bolt on some things kind of behind the tire carrier, right? And so this is a Frontrunner dining table. Initially, we had kind of a cheesy setup that we had cobbled together. This thing has been fantastic. This is nice and solid here, so we can press down on it. It's got a nice slide-out kind of food prep board and stuff. This is where Monica's been banging out all her gourmet food. Fantastic. Also, we have a Rotopax over here, 1.75 gallons. Actually, from Wilco Offroad, they showed this setup in one of their pictures, and I was like, oh, that is awesome. I want to get that. What they showed is 2 1-gallon containers. The 1 gallons are slightly smaller, and so I had to drill some extra holes to get the kind of mount plate to bolt in here properly. You definitely could not probably go up to the 2-gallon or larger bottle, and the 2 1-gallon bottles actually fit in nicer. But then you'd have 2 of these nozzles right next to each other. It'd be kind of weird. So I thought the 1.75 was kind of a nice compromise, right? A nice compromise. And so this is the first time that we've had kind of water here right next to the kitchen. Monica loves it. It is so useful to have a little spout of water right here where we can just go ahead and, rinse dishes or fill pots or whatever and that kind of stuff. It's been fantastic. That's been awesome. And then last but not least is the Trasharoo. So the Trasharoo, essentially we fill it with firewood when we're going out camping, and then we have trash bags that we go ahead and put in there. We kind of hold at the top with some binder clips, and we throw all our trash in it. Recycles get tucked in the outside. You can see exactly how much mulled wine we've been having. I think it is 4 bottles. Yes, 4 bottles of mulled wine over 6 days. So the recycles get tucked in, and it's even got molly webbing if you want to put, additional pouches or whatever. But it's got a pocket here too on the side where you can put empty trash bags or whatever. That's been fantastic. We've totally loved having, again, when Monica's doing kitchen work, back here, Monica's favorite, a kitchen with a view. Or brushing our teeth, or I don't know, whatever, right? You know, you've got trash, you've got water, you've got a table. It's all accessible right here, right next to, you know, our trunk space, which is then where we have, you know, the cooler and water bottles and whatever the stuff we have is all right here. Makes it all just super easy to use, super available and effortless, which has been awesome. Car from the future here. And so while working on putting together that video, some of the stills from Wilco Offroad showed a different type of retaining pin. Not this simple kind of T-pin, but something with a big red handle that would give you way more leverage. It would keep your hands away from any grease or stuff on the pin here. Oh yeah, freaking awesome. So when, of course, and took a look at their spare parts list, and sure enough, this was a relatively nominal cost while I was at it. I also got some extra bushings that these go into, as well as some of the Delrin bushings, which go in here that allow it to swing out nice and silently. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade our Wilco Hitchgate Solo here to be up to spec and be way nicer to use next time around. And as a convenient thing, you can watch how I'm going to take it all apart here. So stay tuned. First off, tire comes off because we definitely don't be wrestling this thing with that extra weight hanging around. All right, let's definitely clean this up a little bit while we're here. There's the old Delrin bushings. They are a little worn, they're not bad, but while we're in here, might as well. Now these bushings, these urethane bushings, I'm hoping just a screwdriver and just pry them out. But we will see here. Oh yeah. Yep, they just come right on out. There, that works better. All right, next step, let's go ahead and undo the pin, undo the wedge lock, back things out a bit. Don't have to take it all the way out. Honestly, the wedge lock is a little finicky with little bits and stuff, and, well, not little, they're strong, but still, it's not like solidly held together. And so putting it in and out of the 2-inch receiver, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. So I'm going to try not to pull it all the way. I just want to back it out a bit so I can go ahead and get to the bolt on the back here so I can go ahead and swap out the retaining pin. Plus, poor Sharky here really needs a bath. One bit of annoyance here is that the bolt for the license plate frame must come off to be able to actually reach the extension in here properly and get to the wedge lock. So it's one of the steps. Finding a retaining pin that actually fits was actually a pain in the ass. You know, I love that the factory Volvo trailer hitch is really snugged in nice and tight to keep all this up out of the way of trail debris or whatever. But yeah, it is so freaking tight here that it's ridiculous. So I had to do a bunch of trial and error on this one to find one that's actually extra long to go around these bumps in kind of the rear metal guard back here so that it actually has room to fit properly. So of course it's not moving anywhere because of the wedge lock. Now we can finally get to it reaching down the neck here. Very long 3/4 inch socket. All right, I think we have enough access now to go ahead and get in behind here. He's a short, fatty Phillips screwdriver, but let's see. Oh, it's not tight at all. Easy peasy. There we go. Have our new pin. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Okay, let's put it all back together. Okay, now that we have the tire back on, in case basically all the weight that goes back there, now what we can do is we can go ahead and adjust. We can go ahead and adjust the torque on this main hinge bolt so that it moves in and out nicely and smoothly, not too loose, not too tight, that kind of stuff. Do that after you have everything mounted. And I think it's fine. It's perhaps a little stiff, but since the Delrin bushings there are brand new, give it some time to go ahead and wear in, and there you go. But there we have it. New pin installed, new bushings. We're all refurbished and ready for the rest of the season. Back to past Carl. So that is my quick little review of the Hitchgate Solo, along with the other bits and pieces that go on it. It has been a huge 2 thumbs up. Again, no rattles, no issues like that at all. The one complaint would be that pin lock system, something better engineered that would not rattle and would not be subject to dust and dirt as much would be really nice. Besides that, it's been fantastic. 2 thumbs. We've had it for 3 years. We got it basically when we got this thing. And so we've been beating up on it for 3 years now, and it's been 100%. It's been excellent. Take care. Thanks for watching.